Have you been time and again told by your parents, told by the teachers, told by our doctors, everyone, told by our neighbors, told by the elderly people, watch your children, observe what the child is doing. They keep harping on this aspect of observing because obviously there's a lot that we will be able to gauge when we watch and see and observe our children. But what exactly is observation and why is this so important? Let me tell you a little bit more in detail about this. So today's focus point is on observation, and we're going to be talking about observational learning because observational learning, I think, is one of the most important and widely and popular medium of teaching children. It's not just about teaching children, even I think we learn better through observations and through experiential learning. Now, there are three main stages when it comes to observational learning. Watch, retain, which is storing, and copying, which is executing and implementing whatever we see and store, and we just copying and aping whatever we've seen or heard. So three basic steps: watch, retain, and copy. And the result of all these three actions depends on the consistency of what we have seen. If it's just a one-time event that I'll end up copying from my parent, it doesn't make too much of a difference. But if the child is copying me, if my son is copying a certain behavior of mine consistently over time, then that eventually lands up ingrained inside him and it becomes a habit or part of his personality as well. I'm sure you must have come across children who walk like their fathers or their mothers, who might talk like their fathers or mothers. In fact, even the way they comb their hair, the way they stand, the way they smile, all of that, So this is nothing but their learnings through observing their own parents. Now, because observational learning is such a powerful medium, we as parents, we want to make the most of it, right? Because this is a tool we don't want to miss out because it's the best way to teach our children. However, there's a small little obstacle that we need to cross over, and that's got to do with us. In order for this to become the most successful mode of learning for our children, there are certain things that we have to keep in mind for ourselves as parents. One, if we know that our children are watching us, then what do we do? What should we do? So just imagine if you know that somebody is watching you, what will that do to you? You'll become conscious, right? So if I know that I'm talking into the camera right now, even though I'm recording, I know that eventually so many people are going to be watching me. So I am conscious about the way I'm behaving and the words that I'm using. So this is exactly what we need to do. We know that our children are watching us all the time. Hence, as parents, as people, we need to work upon making ourselves more conscious, more mindful, and more self-aware. Now, that's a lot of work, but better late than never. We need to start working in that area. If we know that our children are retaining what they're seeing, again, communication becomes a very, very critical part here. Let me explain this to you. If as a parent you behave inappropriately or acted aggressively or violent, and your child happened to see it, and later on you're feeling guilty about it and wish that your child had not seen it, what should you do? You should immediately open the communication channels, walk up to your child, and very casually discuss about the event that happened, what exactly happened, why it happened, how did it make you feel, and what were your learnings out of it. Depending on the age of your child, you could have the conversation in that fashion. Here, the objective is not to justify your actions to anyone. You want to inculcate the habit of addressing something that's not gone right with you and being comfortable to talk about it. So if you do that with your children, they're automatically going to retain that habit by watching you, and with time they themselves will start becoming comfortable with the fact that if they do something appropriate or if they've done something wrong, rather than fearing or getting scared of coming to you and having that fear of being found out, they would proactively come and discuss and talk to you about it. And that's exactly what we want as parents, right? So that's the key. If you know that your children are copying you, doing exactly what they have seen, because that's the information that they're storing, then what will you do? The moment you see that they're copying you, there are two things, because we have to acknowledge what they're doing, right? So 1, motivate. 2, discourage. Both need to go hand in hand. There has to be a balance of both. If they are copying your right behaviors and your right communication, using the right words, you need to motivate them. Do not take it for granted and let it go by without any acknowledgement or praise. It needs to be highlighted and it needs to be acknowledged. So keep motivating them. Discourage. Obviously, this we do land up doing, so I don't really have to talk in detail about that. But any wrong behavior that you notice, you need to open your communication channels here again and talk about it and make your child aware. But while we do this very, very proactively, this, which is the motivate part, normally doesn't happen proactively or may happen not very frequently. So we need to have a balance of the two. So please keep in mind that we need to watch ourselves. Why? Because our children are watching us, and if they are watching us, then eventually we will end up watching them do whatever they have seen. So please watch yourselves. Thank you for listening, and if you connected with the content in my video and if you find value in this, please subscribe to my channel and also click on the bell icon so that you can get notified for the upcoming videos that I will keep uploading. Also, next year we're planning to start weekly parenting knowledge boosters through emails. So do visit our website on www.praisers.co.in. Register yourself with your email ID and get ready to receive these amazing, hard-hitting, practical, realistic, weekly knowledge parenting boosters right in your inbox. Thank you and take care.